What I want to do today is give you an idea of some of the things my part of the government does that support makers who want to become manufacturers. And in my parlance, not every maker is a manufacturer. What I'm looking for are those who want to scale what they do from the one-offs, the two-offs, to larger scale production. So in that world, you go from small batch to the kinds of things that General Electric does. In many cases, you will use very similar technology. Boxy's got healthy additive capabilities. It's got healthy cutting capabilities, the subtractive end of things. General Electric, which has gotten heavily into additive manufacturing in the last couple years, is now starting to make the turbines for jet engines using additive technology. So in many ways, it's the same technology. The materials are different. The algorithms that run the machines are different, but it's the same technology. And this is, for better or worse, a revolution that's been going on for 30 years, because whether I like it or not, I can remember when the first 3D printer did something other than put toner and ink on a piece of paper. So the revolution started a long time ago. You're just now starting to see the results of it. Next. This is the MEP system. It's a very hexagonal system today. We have manufacturing extension centers in all 50 states, plus Puerto Rico. Each of the centers' logos is there, and part of their job is to help manufacturers get and stay globally competitive. Next. For right now, we have focused a lot on existing manufacturers. That's why the program was set up 28 years ago. When I started, there were putatively 360,000 small manufacturers in the U.S. The latest figure I heard is somewhere closer to 290,000, but that does not include any of the makers. So what's the manufacturing economy really? No idea. But there's a lot of it, and it matters a lot to the country. But when you think about what's the transition from maker to manufacturer look like, there are a lot of things that have to happen. There are a lot of opportunities. There's new markets, new customers, new products, new services, new business models available to anyone who's able to invest in the right equipment and try and make it work. At the same time, there's a lot of risks that go with building a business around that technology. That includes profitability. If you're going to stay in business, you have to make money. And that means that not every sale is a good sale. There are some customers you really just don't want. It's got to be sustainable. If you grow too fast, you're going to outpace the cash you have or the money that investors are willing to give you. So you end up putting yourself out of business because you're not getting paid by your suppliers in time enough to make it happen. And if you're selling to large businesses, you got to remember whatever you write in your terms and conditions are not necessarily what they're going to follow. They're going to pay you when they're good and ready, and there's not a blessed thing you can do about that. But we do know it's moving really fast. The hearing aid industry converted from traditional manufacturing to 100% additive in less than 500 days. For those of you who have braces or have children who have braces, Invisalign is all made with additive manufacturing. That's a trend that's going to continue. And that was reinforced for me yesterday in Massachusetts. I was at their Advanced Manufacturing Summit. You can see the technologies converging in additive, in machine learning, in robotics. It's going to change things much faster than you think. And the best advice I think I heard yesterday was your next 10 hires should be interns that know something about machine learning, because that's where the action's going to be. That's what's going to change things. So if you're just thinking about it, thinking about what product you might want to make, think design, whether it's manufacturability, assembly, disposal, variability, whatever else. If you're thinking about building a business, there are a lot more decisions that go with it. There's a buy or lease decision about buying a building, buying equipment, or leasing it, or having co-creation facilities that you can share in, but none of them are free unless the government comes up with a lot more money to make them free than I think they're going to. Make or buy decision. It applies to the components of the products you want to make. If there's a critical piece to your business, to your product, you don't necessarily want to outsource it, whether it's overseas or domestic. That's your competitive advantage, so keep it. And your workforce. You can either hire people with all that implies, or you can go to a temp agency and hire them that way and let the temp agency deal with it, or a whole variety of things in between. What MEP does today, we're in the middle of developing some training for entrepreneurs who want to build a business. That's being done by our California affiliate in conjunction with Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, EWI, the LA Clean Tech Incubator, Texas A&M, and CNMI, which is the California Network for Manufacturing Innovation. That has some DOE money, so it's got some focus on clean energy technology, but the principles of building the business are exactly the same. We do already work with startups and incubators. That first example, our Massachusetts MEP works a lot with Greentown Labs to try and make sure those entrepreneurs get to be real businesses or collaborate with real businesses to expand scale and scope. That's also true in Northern California. Our Northern California affiliate works with SF Made, and our Magnet in Northeast Ohio program has a way of looking at entrepreneurs and products and helping that scale up. That's the mspire.org site. It's also important for the states and the communities in those states to realize sometimes you've got to bring everybody together. So that's what our technology ecosystem development's about. That was our ability to convene, which is something NIST is really good at, all of the players in the community, from the manufacturers, the end users, the universities, the community colleges, everybody who has something to say about the community, to get together and say, this is what we have, this is what we need. And especially as you think about moving to what I'll call hyper-local manufacturing, being able to have that community at that scale is important to know what's going on there, but you also have to know what's going on in the next ring around it and the ring around that. Because the city policies, the town policies will support it or not. The state policies can easily conflict with town policies, and we're not even going to talk about what federal policy might do. Next. We're learning too. For better or worse, our program has a cost share requirement. So we can't do as much for free or reduced costs as we'd like. One of the challenges for us is startups take time and don't have a lot of cash. But our centers have to generate some revenue to meet their cost share requirements for the program. We do have some capability to provide non-cost share money to centers, so we're doing that in 2017. We're going to make up to $2 million available to our centers to learn to work with makers who want to become manufacturers. And I think I've said enough for now. Thank you.